Welcome to African Canadian Voice, ACV. Today we're going to have a great card player from Eritrea by the name Daniel Nebiat. Daniel is the singer, songwriter, musician, and a father of three children, and he is a part of the African band by the name of Kavango African Orchestra. So most of our discussion today would be revolving about card in the Eritrean culture, because he's an excellent card player and card lore in the recent Eritrean culture. So welcome to our show, Daniel. We're very glad to have you on African Canadian Voice to share African culture with the whole African audience and the African community at large. And we're glad to have you in here. And I know that you are a busy man, but you took out time to share Eritrean culture, and we are very grateful for that. And let me go straight to my questions. Tell me a little bit about yourself, before your work and the music you play in terms of car and other musical instruments, or your career in the arts.
Thank you for having me here with you. It's a very amazing opportunity. I'm glad you're doing this to introduce our culture and our music and everything. My name is Daniel Nebiat. I'm from East Africa, Eritrea, born and raised in Asmara. I've been in Canada for almost 25 years now, and I'm a musician. I sing, I play the guitar. I'm a graphic designer by trade.
Wow, something I didn't know.
Yeah, that's what I did in school. Freelance graphic designer, musician, father of three beautiful kids. Part-time taxi driver.
I think you have a lot on your plate. You have three kids. You are in the music industry, graphic designer, and I know that you perform in different venues in relation to Eritrean music and African music as well. So you have a lot in your plate, and I don't know how we juggle all these things. And just how do you manage to do all these things?
Well, life is busy. Everyone is busy. It doesn't matter if you're a graphic designer, musician, this and that. Whatever you do, you're busy. Doesn't matter. I try to manage my time between my family and my work. Sometimes it's hectic, but the family part is fun. You enjoy your children and everything. It's fun. Sometimes they drive me crazy. Most of the time they drive me crazy, but when they go to bed and everything is quiet, you kind of enjoy it. With the work, it's a given here in North America. You don't work, you don't survive, and you have to balance it. You have to balance work, family, enjoying life. At some point, it will get to a kind of routine where you work, but somehow you stop living, right? So I try to work and I try to enjoy life at the same time. I don't know how I do it, and I don't know if I'm doing it right, but I'm doing it, and so far it's working for me.
Yeah, but because the thing is that music demands a lot of time and investment in terms of to have a great output the way you do, and having those kinds of obligations also. You must have a great sense of balancing things to have all this balanced life, to focus on the family at the same time, also to focus on your talent, and music being so much demand in it requires a lot of investment. And I know I see you everywhere performing and all these things. And I was wondering, that's why I asked that question. We'll continue talking to Mr. Daniel, but let's take a short break. Back from the short break, we'll continue talking to Mr. Daniel. But to come back to the focus of our discussion, I know you're a great card player. Can you tell us a little bit about card in the context of the Eritrean culture?
Krar for us, in growing up in East Africa, in Eritrea, even Ethiopia, some parts of Sudan, and Somalia, we find krar. And I can't really talk about Somalia and Sudan because I have never been there. Yeah. But I've been to Ethiopia and from Eritrea, so I can talk about those. Like, krar is our major instrument. It's like you see a country music video and there is not one video that you don't see an acoustic guitar, a box guitar. So the acoustic guitar, which is the box guitar, is the mainstream instrument. Like, you can basically find it in every household that somehow got to do with music, either that or the piano. For us, krar is like that. It's like a basketball. In North America, wherever you go, every neighborhood have a basketball court, and that's mostly every household have one basketball. It's cheap. It doesn't require a lot of gear to play. If you have a rim, a court, and a ball, you can play basketball anywhere. Krar is the same thing. For us, krar is, you don't need an amp, you don't need a plug, you don't need electricity, you don't need anything. It's very easy to make. I always joke whenever I play with my band, I call myself, I'm the chairman of the band. So the chairman of the band, it doesn't mean I am the leader of the band. It just means that my krar looks like it's made out of a chair. Mm-hmm. And every time people ask me when I'm on stage, when I'm playing, oh, how do you make this krar? And I tell them, if you have an old chair, break whatever you sit, and you have the shape of the krar, and put the strings, and you have a krar yourself. So it's very easy to make, very simple. It doesn't require a lot of skill to make it. And once you figure out how to tune it, or if you figure out to play one song, you kind of merge into it, like it becomes you. It's like, it's not that you have to go to a music school to learn it or whatever. So krar and the flute are, what we had around growing up. And like I said, you don't have to go for it. If one person in the neighborhood knows how to play, basically it teaches everyone in the neighborhood. And that's how I learned. And basically it's part of our culture. If you go to the West Africa, you see kora. Yeah. Or if you go to Zimbabwe, you see the tampiano. Every culture have their own major instrument that they play and make their own music. So krar is like that for us. It's the main instrument. That's how we play. That's how we do our weddings and stuff. And masinko or wata, we call it, at the same time.
You're right. Every child tries his hand in playing guitar, but out of all this, many kids some come out. and like yourself, right? And they become more married to the instrument, so to speak, and they make it their own, and then they build that from that humble beginning, starting as a child, and then you grow with it, and then you develop it, and I see that happening with you. Let's take a break from this conversation for commercial. We're back from commercial, and we will continue talking to Mr. Daniel.
There was a friend of mine. He's from Barjima. His name is Binyam. When we used to chill together, he kind of teach me how to tune it properly. Once I got the tuning right, I used to know a little bit of tuning, but he showed me a trick how to tune it without even thinking twice about what I'm doing. So once I got that, it didn't even took me 6 months to just play and sing, coordinate my hands, my mouth, and everything. So my mom came to visit me here in Canada, and that's when she told me, she saw me actually playing in a stage. She never seen me before that. I mean, she kind of heard that I play music, whatever, but she never actually seen me play. So when she came here, my friends brought her to the club that I was playing. I think this is 1996 or something, 97, in Toronto, a place called Barcelona. My friends brought her there. That was the first time she actually saw me play.
Oh, yeah, okay.
And I can tell you, she danced the whole night.
At one point also, I think I saw her coming to the stage and embracing you. It's not a small club. I think it's a big concert in some.
Yeah, that was that was a CD release party I did for
I think.
CD.
Yeah, I saw the footage, and she came on stage and she kind of gave you a hug and all that.
She always does. Whatever I'm playing,
Mm-hmm.
she'll come to the stage, either dance with me or give me a hug, kiss me, whatever. Telling people, hey, I'm the #1 supporter. So after she saw me singing, I think that's when she became
aware that he cannot be divorced from the crowd. Can you give us a little sample of your crowd beside you now?
Yeah, so this is my crowd.
Yeah.
I've been using this crowd, I think, since 1999.
Wow.
This crowd is made by an Eritrean legend. His name is Tawalda Radda. You can see his initials here, Tawalda Radda, and 52 plus years in music. And this is in 1999. Tawalda Radda, I mean, it's not something that I can just talk, just mention his name and what he did and explain who he is to our music. He would need a full.
Yeah, I agree with you, 100%.
He's a legend. He shaped our music to what it is now, right? And he was the grandpa.
Yeah.
He's still a grandpa of our music. So this car was made by him. He lives in Holland now. He's a great artist, and this is his car, and I'm blessed to have one of his car. A few people have them, so this is one of them.
It's amazing. It's amazing.
So this is a song called Hakime. It's the title song of my first CD. It's written by one of the most amazing poets in Asmara. His name's Samuel Almada, and this is how the song goes. يا أنا تلخيفة وأنا أنت بفرخي منك يتعني منك وتعني صبري أهاي نزل بيت الرياح دمك أحكمني بتمديني فقرتي نتحول لو إني فانتنا حمامي تنفاني فتلزم سلني مسينو فتحتاجهم كيلو أدعدي أمي أمنو حمامي لما علي سفالتو شنكاتي فقرتي زولدو يتدل البيز مسمارو زباني منزلي تسميرو كنا حكيمي فوس حمامي إدكن بريو باقت كترئيو زفت بليو تحمامي وقني فقري مرفكي طعمي تئكي وقني بجاخي
We're back from our break and we'll continue talking to Mr. Daniel. What were the driving forces that got you to get more involved? Because so many kids sometimes they drop it, right? When everybody tries his hand, but some of them drop it. But people like you move it to the next level. What was the motivation, the driving, the momentum that got you?
You know, first you have to have some musical gene or whatever. Like, you have to love music to be a musician. And I went to learn music in some music school in our neighborhood. I wasn't into guitars. I wasn't into piano, and he was not teaching me crap. Maybe 3 months in the school, I gave up on it. I went back to my neighborhood and started learning from my friends. Like I said, my love for craft was there from day one. So whatever distractions I was getting in between didn't work. I was always attracted to the craft. I always go back to the craft.
I know that your mom is a very strong, hardworking woman. I know her from back home, and she's very hardworking, strong woman, and I know her. And what was the tipping point for her to know that you are made for music, so that to accept the whole thing, Daniel and Krar are together?
Like you said, she's very strong. You know, she raised 4 children on her own, running a restaurant, waking up at 5 in the morning, open the restaurant, prep everything, work all day, close at 9 o'clock, go home, sleep for a few hours, and wake up and do the same thing again. At the same time, send us to school. Whenever we want to learn languages, she pay for us. You know, me and my little sister, we wanted to learn Italian language, and we want to learn this, we want to learn that, just because Dad was not there, and she had done everything she can to raise us properly the way she wanted. I think she didn't expect me to be a full-time musician. Maybe she was thinking it's just a phase that he's gonna grow out of.
Yeah.
But I start playing guitar professionally, like not professionally, like full-time when I actually get to Addis Ababa.
حمس بلد حمرا لامكي عشابي متي أغرد آكي دا سقر سلام نتاقم قم أصال حين خفضهم بزد رحمة عزم خيروني أتروبا شوقيوني شع السبا بزح يحموني أبا غضبة تحقلفوني انت يتقود خير مني كم سك مسخي كني أنا ندعلي بدحريخي وليت على مساخي تما خرندو مسدراخي خرب لي المخي انت حارسكو سرنا يزحبسون انت حلبكو تسمي فسسو دم بحريري عدز المبسو ساخ دليا تقري زاوين حديرة حلونا يلين عاد ولا لا لبين ساخ دليا تقري زاوين حديرة حلونا يلين عاد ولا لا زحد ردي زحدارو بزي بترم بابارو حرمي سميعيونا يديخي خدمتي ما تزبلاخي اسمع حزاخي كم وزاقير كيف قوبو مش ميال علي يمو إلا جبلا سميعيونا يديخي كلمتي ما زبلاخي اسمع حزاخي كم وزاقير كيف قوبو مش ميال علي يمو إلا جبلا بين ساق دنيا تدري زاوين حديرة حرمي لي هات ولا لا بين ساق دنيا تدري زاوين حديرة حرمي لي هات ولا لا زحد رجي زحدارو بزي بترم بابارو حرمي لي سميعيونا يديخي كلمتي ما زبلاخي اسمع حزاخي كم وزاقير كبقوبو مش ميال علي يمو إلا جبلا.
Well, I think you have enjoyed listening to the conversation about Krar, the great Krar player, Mr. Nebiat from Eritrea. And this is part of the first part of the conversation. On the next episode, we'll continue with that. Thank you for watching. See you on the next episode.